have been 30 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Minnesota as of July 28th. That's according to the Minnesota Department of Health. CCX News reporter Sarah Tamer spoke with a local doctor and has the latest on the outbreak.
Monkeypox is a virus that is spread person to person through physical contact that causes a pretty broad variety of symptoms.
Dr. Hannah Lixon with Hennepin Healthcare says it's important to know the symptoms of monkeypox, which has been declared a global health emergency.
Body aches, fever, some swollen glands or lymph nodes, headache, just not feeling well.
Lixon says a rash is another symptom resembling a pimple or fluid-filled bumps. I asked her just how contagious the virus is.
The most common way is from skin to skin contact, and that can be any part of the body. So when someone has the rash, especially, they're very contagious. Or even, sharing bedding, sharing clothes, sharing utensils, so really being in the same space.
The World Health Organization is advising people to isolate for 3 weeks from the time they believe they were exposed to the virus and to limit contact with people while waiting for test results.
How deadly is monkeypox?
That's a really good question, and we don't know the full answer yet. Fortunately, we're not seeing a lot of death associated with it, and we're grateful for that.
Dr. Lixon says some communities are experiencing more outbreaks than others.
Primarily was in the community of men who have sex with men within the gay community. And that has been where we've seen the biggest clusters of cases. Similarly, it could spread in any tight-knit community where there's a lot of physical contact. So thinking about athletics leagues or, within a school environment.
She says transmission can also happen through respiratory particles, although that requires prolonged face-to-face contact.
I think it's important for people to know that this virus is out there and it's spreading through our communities.
In Brooklyn Park, Sarah Tamer, CCX News.
Dr. Lixon says vaccination is limited and targeted toward people in at-risk communities. A frightening scene for staff at a Maple Grove Jimmy John's. A criminal complaint says a man entered the restaurant and threatened to shoot staff and burn down the store. John Van Single is charged with felony threats of violence. The complaint says Van Single went into the Jimmy John's on Black Oaks Lane and stated he was with DoorDash, placing items including a lighter on a table. When staff said they don't use DoorDash, the complaint says Van Single became irate, telling staff that tonight you're going to get a bullet in your head. Police arrested Van Single at another store. Court records show he lives in Michigan. The complaint says Van Single has had run-ins with police in multiple states. Without significant rain anytime soon, experts say the state's drought conditions are likely to worsen. According to the Minnesota DNR's website, parts of Hennepin County are in either a severe or moderate drought. As a result, brown, dried-out lawns are commonplace, leading to more water usage. But the city of Plymouth wants to remind residents of outdoor watering restrictions.
So what that helps with is allowing our water towers to refill, and so we have enough storage capacity to make sure we're treating the whole city.
Plymouth has an odd-even watering policy with no watering from noon to 5 p.m. every day. For 15 years, the Maple Grove family has brought theater to neighborhoods, turning yards into stages. As Corey Bork reports in today's Weekend Showcase, the latest musical act draws hundreds of people to a neighborhood in Dayton.
It's amazing how many people come out to see the show.
In this Dayton neighborhood,
this is a vehicle by which we can continue to give back to the community.
Volunteers direct traffic and pass out programs for something popcorn-worthy.
We've been here 6 or 7 years now. Got a little creek and the woods in the back that make it just a really enjoyable place to sit and watch a show.
Where all the lawn's a stage and musicians perform not in a pit, but a tent.
How many of you have never been to a Bunce Backyard production before? Wow! Welcome! I'm so glad you're here.
This production of Oliver comes with more than a reminder to turn off cell phones.
During intermission, I want to warn you to put on mosquito repellent.
Theater done outdoors which presents a unique set of stage challenges.
We're kind of dependent on how the weather is going to be. First of all, whether we can have the show or not. Secondly, how it just affects the actors and their energy level. If it's a really hot day, it's a lot harder to perform in very thick costumes.
Challenges that sometimes spook the performers.
There was actually this giant wolf spider that crawled up a girl during a dress rehearsal once, but it was horrifying.
This type of theater is the brainchild of Greg and Lori Bunce.
My wife and I decided that we wanted to give our kids a theater experience. Looked around at summer camps. They were all 1 to 2 weeks long and pretty expensive, and we thought with our theater background, we could put a show on in our backyard and invite the neighbors to do it. So we did, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Got to pick a pocket or two, boy.
Shows now draw hundreds of people.
We've had as many as probably over 1,000.
For the cast members, it brings a different energy.
You wouldn't see normally a theater outside. It just creates this new vibe from it. From the city itself.
I think our youngest actor is 10 and the oldest is in their 60s. All those ages bring different perspectives to the story, which makes it really sweet.
So bring a lawn chair.
Very well then, boy. What's your name? Oliver. Oliver Twist.
And some bug spray.
That's your funeral.
Not our funeral.
And enjoy the show.
Funeral.
For Weekend Showcase, Corey Borg, CCX News.
Performances by Bunce Performing Arts are free. Attendees are encouraged to give a monetary donation or give a food donation to support Cross Food Shelf.
Two local teams are in the State American Legion baseball tournament, Maple Grove and Hopkins. They went head-to-head to wrap up pool play Friday.
Maple Grove coming into Friday's play with a 2-0 record. Hopkins at 1-1, needing a win to advance to bracket play. Bottom of the first inning, and the Flyers' Paul Safransky drives a ball to deep center field all the way to the base of the fence. Peter Johnson scores, and Hopkins leads 2-1. Jack Mauser hits one to short. Maple Grove gets the out at first base, but Brock Zimmer scores from third on the play. The Flyers take a 3-1 lead after one inning, but not too much goes right after that for Hopkins. Top of the third, and Tanner Albeck chops one in front of the plate. He runs well. There's no play for the Flyers in the field. Brian O'Dwyer scores, and the game is tied at 3. And Maple Grove is just getting started. After a run scored on a passed ball, Chayton Fisher singles to center field to play Albeck and Aiden McMahon. Fisher's single makes it 6-3 Grove. Then it's Sam Kleiber's turn. He singles to left field. Fisher comes in with the 5th run of the inning, and it's 7-3. Zane Vitance gets a hold of one, and it's just out of the reach of left fielder Aaron Awney and down. Nathan Schmidt trots home. Maple Grove scores 8 runs at all in the inning to take control and lead it 10-3. Grove tacks on 6 more runs in the 6th inning. Cal Fisher singles to right field. Kleiber and a diving Vitance both score on the play, and it's 12-3. Albeck delivers another Maple Grove run-scoring hit with a single to left to bring home O'Dwyer. Maple Grove goes on to rout top-ranked Hopkins 16-4 in 6 innings. The Flyers are out, while Maple Grove advances to the state tournament quarterfinals against Edina Saturday morning.
Maple Grove needs 2 wins Saturday to advance to Sunday's championship game and a spot in the Central Plains Regional Tournament next week. Summer is a good time for new coaches to get acquainted with their teams. The new head girls hockey coach at Wayzata High School is laying the groundwork for the upcoming season.
John Bazzachini brings a wealth of experience to the Wayzata girls hockey program. The 35-year coaching veteran is the Trojans' new varsity head coach.
Oh, it's really exciting. A great group of girls, great staff. We're not fully complete yet, but got Melissa Shimoleski working with the defensemen and Morgan Hoagland working with the forwards. So we're having a lot of fun here this summer.
Having new coaches, it's just great to have everyone being optimistic about learning new philosophies, learning new ways of play, and Buzz, Melissa, and Morgan have been really good about just adapting, and a lot of the players have been as well. So
I think the change is really good for our team, and I think the coaches are really good at seeing what individual skills every person has. And I think it's going to be a good change for us.
Buzz, as most people call him, is spending time stressing defense to his new players.
As we're getting towards the end here, you can see today we were doing some stuff 3-on-3 down low where they're getting an understanding of how do you cover, what's body position look like, and just going through some of those basic fundamentals.
Because I think it's really beneficial knowing all those things and not just going through the motions when we're on the ice and actually knowing how to do it so we can do it to like our greatest ability.
A lot of girls out here are doing other programs, so a lot of those are just reps, so I think it's really good for girls to, you know, slow it down a little bit and figure out what you're doing.
Bazzachini has coached both men's and women's hockey, including a long run as the head women's coach at St. Olaf. And he has coached high school too. After a year off, he was ready to get back at it.
I love the game. I had the fortune of playing for some great coaches, and now I want to pass that on to future players to maybe someday that they'll be coaches.
And that's it for sports. More news after this.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.